everybody. Carl Rust here from the Magic Workshop in the basement of Woodlawn Nature Center. Today we're going to look at building your own milk carton village. So I'm going to have to move the camera a little bit, but anyway. So what do you need? First of all, you need some milk cartons or whatever. Could be oats container or a coffee cup, or it could be an empty tea container, or even an old McDonald's container. So let me show you a little bit of the village. This is a part of our little village that we made at Woodlawn Nature Center from milk cartons and other things. And you can see the mountains in the background, a little toy car, some kind of a transport. I guess it's a boat because it's on the river. So that's the one that we're working on here at Woodlawn Nature Center. But I'm going to start you over at the beginning and show you how you can make your own. Spread out some newspapers so we don't make a mess too much. We're usually making messes and make a lot of messes, but this way we don't get stuff all over our table. And then the first step is to get an empty milk carton, rinse it out really good, and then what I usually do is I'll spray some bleach water in here, let mom or dad or the teacher do that, and then make sure it's just nice and clean so it doesn't get smelly and stinky. If it's a cup like this, it probably doesn't matter because it's open anyway, but this has got a cap on it, so you want to make sure it's nice and clean. And then I make a little mix. So I've got one of the lids off the container, off the oatmeal container. I've got some white acrylic paint. Let's shake it up really good and put it in here. So I just put a little bit, now maybe more than that. And then I'm going to take some glue and I'm going to put that in there too. Just kind of squeeze it in there. And that's going to help the paint stick. So I get a little bit of a mixture like that. I can use any kind of a brush I want. I'm going to take this, actually I'll take one of my littler brushes and kind of mix it up, the glue and the paint. And then I'm going to take my milk carton and I'm just going to start priming it. Because if I just try to paint this right away, the blue is so dark it's going to show through the paint. And then it won't look right when I try to paint my design on it. So I'm going to paint that on there. You can do it in black if you want to. You can do white or black. I like to do white or black. So I'm going to put some black in here. Let me move this out of the way. Put some black on my little paint palette from an oatmeal lid. And then I still want to put the white glue in there, even though it's black paint. I'm still going to squeeze some glue in there. And then I'm going to use a different brush because I use that for white. So I'm going to try this side of the milk carton I'm going to do in black. So I'm going to mix it up a little bit. Mix it up. And then I'm going to turn it on the side I didn't do and do black. And so I can't really see that, but I'll show it to you in a minute. So I'm putting black on here. And that way the blue stuff doesn't show through unless I want it to be blue, which is perfectly okay also. But I'm going to just cover that and let it dry. So let me show you one that's done. Put this aside for a minute. One is all done in white. See how it's all covered in white paint? So it's ready for me to paint a design on it. And here's one that's like all different kinds of colors, but it doesn't really have a design on it yet. It's just covered with paint so that the design from underneath on the milk carton doesn't show through it. And so then I get to decide, well, what kind of a building do I want this to be? Just a little bit. What kind of building would I like this to be? And so then I can use some of my color paint, or this is a white prime, so I might decide to use some black paint to start with. And let me think, what kind of building would I like this to be? Well, I think I'm going to make this a music store. So I'm going to see, this is not easy to do. I've got a little brush, but I'm going to try to write the word music on here really carefully. See, I put the M. The problem is it's going to be big, so I'm going to start going down the side. I'm just going to go vertical instead of going horizontal. So I've got MU S. Better get a little bit more paint here. I C. So I wrote the word music down the side there. And now I can make maybe a big note. I'm going to make a note. There's my little circle. And then I've got my stem going up. And I'm going to do 2 flags, so like that. A music note. And then I'm going to make another one. So that's the beginning of my music store. Now I might like to use a different color. I've got some blue. I've got green. I've got some red. I've got all different colors. So I can do anything I want to. So let me show you a few of the buildings that have already been done. For this building, I started with a white primer, and I just decided to make a shop. So I made a shop, and I made some squares and rectangles for windows, some side doors, and then I put on the side I put church, and that I actually cut that out of the newspaper and glued that on there. And then on this side I said hello, new home. So that's kind of a strange building. This one says, do it here, do it now, class, focus on the game, and it says school on the side. And then there's lots of, I don't know if those are unhappy or happy faces. And so it's got some doors on it, but I can do that any way I want to. Let me show you my little bait shop. I made this from an empty tea container after all the teas were gone. And on this side it says boats. So you can do anything you want to, and then of course I have my my bus or my water trolley, depending on how you look at it. This came from an egg carton. It says transit. Lots of windows on the side. So you can do these any way you want to. And then think about it. You could decide, does your town, what kind of people live in your town? What kind of government does it have? Who's the leader of your town? Is it a mayor? Is it a city council? Is it a king or queen? You can do it any way you want to. When you get done, you can make your town. You can put the buildings anywhere that you want to. You can rearrange them. You can put... Now this is a big piece of cardboard that's got a little wet, so it's a little warped. Maybe your piece of cardboard could be totally flat, or maybe you have a piece of plywood or something you could use. Let's look at a couple other things you could use for the base. So here's some things you could use for base. This is like a foam board. Somebody already had stuff on it, so it's got some marks on it. This one is just a piece of plain cardboard. We've got some other cardboard. Let's see what else we can find around the Magic Workshop that we could make a base out of. You could just use the tabletop, maybe, I don't know. Or you could use a concrete floor. Here's an old door we have at the Magic Workshop. You could use an old door if you have one. Look what I found on the top shelf. It's a piece of styrofoam. You could use that to make a base if you wanted to. Whatever you decide to use, make sure you ask permission to use that, whoever it belongs to. So this is Carl Rust from the Magic Workshop in the basement of Woodlawn Nature Center saying, I hope you have fun making your own village, and if you make one, do a video and post it to our Facebook page and let us know that you did that. Have a great day. I hope you stay creative and stay wild.